yung hope at faith at yung makakamit natin sa susunod na 6 na taon. Because so many of us in the audience are visitors to the Philippines, what I prepared happens to be in English. At kahit ako po even if I have spoken at many venues, tonight I have to have a código because my handlers have said, please choose your words carefully, lest you be misconstrued by our friends in the media. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, all of you, for coming this evening. This is probably my biggest challenge because it will be the first time I will be speaking exclusively to family and genuine friends, more than the curious in one single venue, committed to building our nation through the Gawad Kalinga movement. Tonight, I wanted to make sure that what I will share will have take-home value from our time together. That we plant seeds in our hearts for those of you who are new, because many of you in the audience, I understand it's your first time to be at a GK event. Or for those of us who have been privileged to have known Tony for many, many years, and many call him out of genuine love and respect, Tito Tony, nurture what has already been planted in our hearts with GK for some time. I would like to thank you for coming because you chose to be here instead of attending to many other priorities that keep us busy. This is very special to me. For like many of you, marami po kayo dyan sa audience, many of you have been at the pinnacle of power and tasted its prestige and privilege, who realize that when the titles have gone and the dust settles, true wealth is measured not in the number of zeros added to our bank accounts, nor the honors we have received when wearing the titles, nor the material things one collects, but the number of sincere and genuine friends one makes. You are all my friends. In this regard, I feel most grateful. Let me start by telling you that I have come to realize that keeping a low profile while doing good is gratifying because it's authentic and sincere. So once again, being thrust under these spotlights this evening is a different kind of challenge because the purpose is not to call attention to myself, but rather as your friend, to share the insights I have gained in my interior journey towards self-realization. Once again, our paths intersect. Katulad ng sinabi ni Tony, I have lived in North America these past 5 years shortly after leaving government. And the self-exile was done for personal and professional reasons brought about by a confluence of people and events. Bereft, kahit wala na ang trappings of power, the humility I underwent and the relative simplicity I chose to live my life while traveling the United States in the service of GK and other noble causes, often being chased off stages because our PhilAm brothers and sisters preferred to sing or dance, allowed me the opportunity to get to the core of who I was and answer for myself what counts in life: family, faith, and country. It also gave me an insight into the great leaders and statesmen of the world, past and present, as it allowed me to meet people of different backgrounds, accomplished in the ways of man, regardless of gender, color, political persuasion, and creed. And it allowed me the opportunity to view the evolving events of our country from afar, objectively detached but still very much connected, quietly supporting causes that and people who were deserving of help. I no longer am the gladiator willing to jump into the fray without giving it too much thought, but one who disciplined himself into thinking through the value of actions taken and the corresponding consequences of these actions. The isolation was good because it afforded me the gift for mental and moral introspection. For example, I now realize that as a leader, every person is not a statistic to be used, but a human being. And regardless of his or her station in life, he or she deserves our attention, compassion, and concern by bringing out the best in him or her as an individual. For it is in building people that we truly build our nation. Yesterday, we were welcomed home with threats and innuendos to recall past misdeeds by others. Please remember, my family and I are also the victims here, and despite our greatest fears, we have chosen to come home because we love our country. I am here to build and not to destroy, to uplift and not to find fault, not to criticize, not to bash, but to identify what is best in the Filipino, and likewise learn to use what is good from other countries to make us even stronger, to grow a nation through hope and the resolute faith that we will make it happen. In our family's darkest moments over the last 7 years, in the GK parlance of walang iwanan, hindi kami iniwan ng pamilya ng GK. They have been our strength, and they have taught us to love our country more. Gawad Kalinga introduced me to the deepest struggles of the poorest of the poor of our country. And after 7 years of painstaking work, they have impacted the lives of thousands of Filipinos, building homes, communities, and alliances of assistance. The GK workers continue to sacrifice their lives to serve. And like you in the audience tonight, perhaps, I feel very honored and thankful to have witnessed this brave and noble initiative to address our country's most pressing problem of poverty. At this stage, however, I realize that the need of the poor goes much further and deeper than building homes. These GK villages have real people, have families with children and teenagers who yearn for a better future and a better life. While most of their parents had to submit to themselves and not finish school, these GK parents now aspire for a better future for their children.